So, our finance topic is all about the EASA and FAA regulation. So, marami yan. So, pero let's just discuss kung ano yung connected sa ating course. Kasi, like I said, yung mga regulations natin is hindi lang naman yan sinusunod ng mga aeronautical engineers and also sinusunod din naman yan ng mga ibang tao sa ating aviation industry. So, I will just discuss ano yung mga kailangan nating malaman all about EASA and the FAA regulations. So, let's review lang. Pag sinabi natin EASA, the regulations are used by contracting states under European Union. And also, the FAA, kapag ang mga aircrafts naman nila, is under the US. Okay. So, first, let's discuss all about the EASA regulations. So, meron tayong regulation structure dito, and magpo-focus lang naman tayo sa mga continuing airworthiness, Part 21, air operations, and such. Okay? So, let's first discuss the EASA Part 21. So, EASA Part 21 is all about the airworthiness and environmental certification. So, nakasaad dito na Part 21 regulates the approval of aircraft design and production organizations and the certification of aircraft products, parts, and appliances. So, doon natin malalaman kung paano ina-approve yung certain design ng mismong aeroplano and also the certification ng mga products, parts, and appliances. Okay? So, we have here the subparts of EASA Part 21. So, we have letters. So, sinasabi ko na, pwede siyang lumabas sa quiz and sa ating examination. So, sir, bakit yan importante? Kasi if tayo ay mag-work na sa field, we need to know kung ano yung mga subparts ng EASA. Kasi pag alam natin yun, madali nating mahanap kung ano yung kailangan nating resources. Kasi for example, meron tayong supplemental type certificate, alam natin kung saan tayo magbe-base na document. Okay? So, first we have the subpart A. So, establishes general rights and obligations of applicant of order. So, may note dito na nakalagay na AMC, ibig sabihin po ng AMC natin is acceptable means of compliance. Subpart B, we have the type certificate or tinatawag nating TC rin. So, obtaining a TC for an aircraft, engine, and propeller. Okay, sabi ko nga nung nakaraan, nire-register po ang eroplano pero hiwalay po ang registration ng mismong eroplano sa kanyang engine and propeller. Okay, so huwag niyong kakalimutan yun. Lagi ko sinasabi and pinaulit-ulit ko na pag nagre-register po tayo ng certain aircraft, lagi pong hiwalay yung engine and the propeller. Okay? Sige. Next, may note tayo dito. So, CS is certification specifications. Okay. So, ulit lang siya, pero meron tayong DOA. Ang ibig sabihin po ng DOA natin is Design Organizations Approval. Next, we have the subpart D. So, changes to type certificate. Okay, so major changes, the TC can be applied for the TC holder only under this subpart. So, madali lang naman yan intindihin. Subpart E, we have the supplemental type certificate. So, major changes to a TC by other than the TC holder, how to obtain an STC. Okay? So, things to remember, ito laging tatandaan. In conclusion, type certificate or TC and supplemental type certificate or SPC are two important concepts in the aviation industry that ensure aircraft safety and compliance with airworthiness requirements. Okay, tandaan nyo ha. TC is issued for a new aircraft design, while SPC is issued for a modification to an existing aircraft design. Ito lang naman tatandaan nyo dyan. Pag sinabi po nating TC, nilalabas po siya kapag bago yung eroplano. Kapag STC naman, from its term supplemental, nilalabas po siya kapag meron po tayong iniiba sa existing design natin. Okay, ulitin ko. Kapag TC, bagong eroplano, bagong aircraft design. Kapag STC naman, it means supplemental. Ibig sabihin na supplemental, we tend to what? Change or modify a certain existing aircraft design. Yun lang naman tatandaan yung keyword. Kapag TC, new aircraft design. Kapag STC, existing aircraft design natin. Okay? Sige. Subpart F is the production without production organization approval. So, yun lang naman yun. Hindi ko na masyado elaborate. We need to just focus on the title, on ano yung mga nakasaad doon. So, subpart G, production organization approval. Subpart H, okay, ito, importante ito. So, subpart H of EASA Part 21 is all about the airworthiness certificate. Okay, tandaan nyo. For a new aircraft, a certificate of airworthiness is issued upon presentation of relevant documentation. Then, for a used aircraft, a certificate of airworthiness is issued upon presentation of either these two. So, an airworthiness review certificate for an aircraft from an EU member state, or as above plus additional info for an aircraft outside the European Union. Okay? So, ito lang naman yan. Dagdag ka lang. So, subpart J, Design Organization Approval, or what we call as a DOA kanina. So, malinaw naman tayo doon. So, yun lang naman yan. Subpart K, Parts and Appliances. Subpart O, the ETSO, or the European Technical Standard Order. Okay, remember, the abbreviation. So, ETSO, it means European Technical Standard Order. Okay. So, subpart Q is the permit to fly. So, defines how products, parts, and appliances should be marked and identified. So, sabi ko nung nakaraan, in order for the aircraft to fly, kailangan kompleto po yung MEL natin, or what we call as the minimum equipment list. Dapat nandun po yun, and dapat nakakabit po siya sa aircraft. Then, kasi pag hindi po kompleto yung minimum equipment list, hindi po papayagan na paliparin yung aeroplano, or what we call as the permit to fly. Okay? Next, we have the EASA Part M. So, definitions lang. So, certifying staff means personnel responsible for the release of an aircraft or component after maintenance. So, certifying staff, sila po yung nag-approve kung ang maintenance po na nagawa is successful. Kung nagawa po yung certain task na kailangan gawin para maging airworthy yung aeroplano. Okay? So, continuing airworthiness means of all the processes ensuring that at any in its operating life, the aircraft complies with the airworthiness requirement, force, and is in a condition for safe operation. So, like I said nga, pag sinabi natin airworthiness, the aircraft is following a certain safety standards. And nasasabi po natin airworthiness ng aeroplano kapag nakapasa siya sa mga certain standards ng regulation. Okay? Large aircraft means an aircraft classified as an aeroplane with a maximum takeoff mass of more than 5,700 kilograms. So remember, based on EASA, a large aircraft is an aircraft with a maximum takeoff weight or takeoff mass or MTOW in terms of aviation of more than 5,700 kilograms. So may term tayo or may word tayo dito na more than. Sabihin, mas mabigat sa 5,700 kilograms. Then nakalagay din dito, or a multi-engine helicopter. Okay? So, subpart B, accountability, maintenance of large aircraft, aircraft used for commercial air transport, and their components shall be carried out by Part 145 approved maintenance organization, or what we call as our AMO. Okay? So, maintenance organizations, yan lang naman yan. That's so important. So, I will skip yung mga hindi naman kailangan natin. So, ito yung list of contents ng AMO. So, we have here, ito importante ito. So we have subpart G, or continuing airworthiness management organization. So, we have the king. Then we have the continuing airworthiness management exposition, or sabi dito, this will be it can be shortened as AIM natin. So, its purpose is to set forth the procedures, means, and methods of the continuing airworthiness management organization, or the CAMO, compliance with its contents, with assured compliance with Part M requirements. So, we have 5 parts ng CAIM natin. So, remember these parts kasi importante yan. So, Part 0 is the management. Okay? Part 1, continuing airworthiness management procedures. Part 2 is our quality system. Part 3, contracted maintenance. Part 4, airworthiness review procedures. And Part 5, we have the appendices. Okay? So, personal requirements, not so important naman yan. Hindi na, let's skip na yung mga hindi importante. Okay? So, to allow the physical review to take place during a maintenance check, okay, remember here, the airworthiness review can be anticipated by a maximum period of 90 days without loss of continuous data. So, when satisfied that the airworthiness review has been properly carried out and the aircraft is airworthy, an airworthiness review certificate can be issued. Okay? Remember, 90 days natin. So, record keeping. So, a copy of each ARC issued, recommended, or extended, if applicable, itch to fly, or permit to fly, including supporting documents. So, remember, retain records for up to 24 months after the aircraft is permanently withdrawn from service. So, 24 months siya kailangan i-store or i-keep yung mga records. So, next, you have the EASA Part 66. So, we have here 2 types of maintenance. Okay, so let's differentiate these 2. So, line maintenance, the routine and preventive maintenance that is performed on an aircraft before, between, and after flights. Okay, so it includes tasks such as checking the oil levels, tire pressure, fuel quantity, lights, brakes, and instruments. Line maintenance also involves minor repairs or replacement of parts that are easily accessible and do not require extensive disassembly or special tools. Next naman, we have the base maintenance, the periodic and corrective maintenance that is performed on an aircraft at longer intervals, usually every few months or years. It includes tasks such as inspecting the structural integrity, testing the systems, overhauling the engines, modifying the configuration, and painting the exterior. Base maintenance also involves major repairs or displacement of parts that are hidden or complex and require significant disassembly or special tools. Ganito lang naman tatandaan nyo dyan. Pag sinabi po nating line maintenance, kailangan minor repairs lang siya. So, pwede siyang gawin outside the hangar. Kapag base maintenance naman po, kadalasan kasi ang ginagawa kapag base maintenance, we tend to overhaul the aircraft. Ibig sabihin, baklas, kabit. Ibig sabihin, kapag line maintenance, kadalasan inspection lang yan. Checks, tire pressure checks, oil level checks, and instrument checks natin. Pag sinabi naman pong base maintenance, kadalasan ang ginagawa po sa base maintenance, meron po tayong part ng eroplano na binabaklas and binabalik po. Or kadalasan, dito rin po tayo nagkakaroon ng what we call the structural checks na tine-check po natin yung mga structural components ng eroplano natin. Lagi nang tatandaan, ito lang naman yung keyword dyan, kapag line maintenance, minor repair. Kapag base maintenance, we have the major repair, what we call as the overhaul natin. Okay? Then you have the troubleshooting. So the process of identifying the cause of malfunction or discrepancy, determining its severity, eliminating the cause, replacing or repairing discrepant component, system, or structure. So, alam ko natulungan sa inyo yun. Kapag sinabi po natin troubleshooting, fast action. For example, like sa PC nga natin or sa system natin, sa computers, meron tinatawag ng troubleshooting. Ibig sabihin, troubleshoot, fast action to correct a certain what? Malfunctions. Okay? So, troubleshooting, ginagawa siya para ma-solve agad yung certain problem. Okay? So, category A, we have the line maintenance mechanic. So maintenance certifying staff yan. So, ito yung mga categories natin. So, category A, line maintenance mechanic. Category B1, mechanical. Ibig sabihin, ginagawa nila yung mechanical things like the engine. Okay. Then, B2 natin is line maintenance, avions. So, category C naman, we have the base maintenance certifying engineer. So, privileges, applicant shall be at least 18 years of age. So, yan po yung parang minimum age para magkaroon ka po ng licenses. Na sinabi natin kanina, so we have the category A, the line maintenance, category B1, line maintenance mechanical, B2, line maintenance avionics, and category C, we have the certifying engineer. Okay? So next we have the part, EASA Part 145. So EASA 145, its title is Maintenance Organization Approval. Okay, so kadalasan, andito yung organization means a natural person as well as a legal person. Such an organization may be established at more than one location, whether or not within the territory of the member states. So, terms of approval, scope of work, clearly defined on approval certificate. So, EASA Form 3. So, scope of work in more detail set out in the MOE natin or Maintenance Organization Exposition. So, class and rating systems to be used for the approval of maintenance organizations referred to in Annex 1, Part M, Subpart F, and Annex 2, Part 145. So, yung mga categories natin, nandito lang naman. So, category A, maintenance on aircraft and any components only when such components are fitted to the aircraft. So, ito lang naman yan. Category B for off-wing or uninstalled engine and APU. So, we have the B1 turbine engines, B2 piston engines, and B3 we have the APU. So, category C ng repair natin for component overhaul and maintenance. Then D1, we have the NDTs or what we call as the non-destructive testing. Yung mga NDT natin, mga eddy current, gyroscope, magnetic particle, X-ray, and so on. Marami yung NDTs na. Okay? So, an organization with class rating, an A or B or C category, may carry out NDT products it is maintaining subject to the maintenance organization's competence to perform this type of work. Sabihin, kapag yung mga organization ay merong class rating A, B, or C, pwede po silang what? Mag-conduct ng non-destructive testing. Okay? So, facility requirements, yan lang naman yan. So, appropriate facilities to protect against the environment and contamination. Kadalasan lang naman niya kailangan meron kang supply of water, meron kang ventilation. So, yun lang naman yan. Let's skip na. So, EASA Part 66 categories. Okay, so certifying staff. So organization shall ensure that certifying staff are involved in 6 months actual aircraft or component experience within 2-year period, sufficient continuation training in each 2-year period. So remember the dates or the time frame natin. So yun, so important naman yan. So ito yung EASA Form 1. Wala yung picture pero the primary purpose of the Authorized Release Certificate or the ARC natin is to declare airworthiness of maintenance work undertaken on products, parts, and appliances. Remember, EASA Form 1 is also called as the Authorized Release Certificate or the ARC natin. Okay? So, maintenance records. Records kept to provide proof requirements have been met to issue the CRS. So, a copy of each CRS provided to the operator. So, all maintenance records retained for at least 3 years. So, kailangan mo natin siyang i-keep ng at least 3 taon. So, protected against damage, alteration, and theft. So, occurrence reporting. So, report to the following: aircraft's state of registry, state of operator, TC holder, competent authority. So, within 72 hours of identification. So, next we have the Maintenance Organization Exposition. So, MOE. So, the document or documents that contain the materials specifying the scope of work, team to constitute approval, and showing how the organization intends to comply. Okay? Subcontracting findings. So, we have the levels of audit. So, level of audit findings made by competent authority for Part 145. So, level 1, significant non-compliance with the Part 145 requirements, which is the safety standards and hazards. So, level 2, any non-compliance with Part 145 requirements, which could be the safety standards and possibly hazard flight safety. Okay? So, remember these 2 levels. So, next we have the EASA Part 147. Okay, so this part is the European standard for the approval of maintenance training organization or the ATO natin, Approved Maintenance Organization. And it has 2 parts natin. So, basic training and aircraft type rating training natin. So, tatandaan lang naman, Part 147 has its 2 parts. The basic training and aircraft type rating. Okay? So, basic training, the approved basic training course shall consist of knowledge training, knowledge examination, practical training, and practical assessment. So, aircraft type training. So, we have 3 levels. Level 1, always remember, level 1 is called as the Gen FAM or the General Familiarization. So, a brief overview of the airframe, systems, and power plants as outlined in the system's description. Kadalasan, pag Gen FAM or level 1 training, kadalasan theoretical po yan. Sabihin po ng theoretical, wala pong hands-on. Sabihin, pag theoretical, more on term siya. Or more on classroom discussion type of training. Okay? Level 2, basic system overview of controls, indicators, principal components, including their location, purpose, servicing, and minor troubleshooting. So, kadalasan, pag level 2, dyan na po yung merong walk-around sa mismong aeroplano. Ibig sabihin, pupunta kayo sa mismong aeroplano, ituturo nung instructor kung ano yung mga parts ng aircraft. So, you can be familiarized kung ano yung actual parts ng aeroplano. Okay? Level 3, detailed description, operation, component location, removal, installation, and bite and troubleshooting procedures to maintenance manual level. So, pag level 3 naman, dito na po papasok yung tinatawag nating hands-on training. Okay? Ulitin ko, ito lang naman talagang natandaan. Pag level 1, it is also called a general familiarization, theoretical training. Ibig sabihin, classroom type ng training natin. So, inaaral lang naman dito yung mga terms. So, pag level 2 naman, may walk around. Ibig sabihin, tutour kayo sa mismong eroplano and sasabihin kung ano yung mga parts na present. Okay. Pag level 3 naman, ito naman yung pinaka hands-on training natin. Okay? So, next we will study kung pinag-aralan natin kanina, the brief overview of the EASA regulations. Ngayon naman, we will study or I will discuss all about the FAR or the Federal Aviation Regulation. So, also known as the 14 CFR natin. So, huwag niyo kakalimutan, the FAR or the Federal Aviation Regulations is also called as the 14 CFR natin. Okay. So, the 14 CFR has its subchapters. So, we have the Part A. So, definitions and general requirements. So, subpart A yun Part 1 for 1 to 5 yan. So, subchapter B, procedural rules, Part 11 to 17. Chapter C or the aircraft, we have the parts 21 to 59. So, doon natin makita yung certification standards, regulations, the ADs, then maintenance rules natin. Then, we have the subchapter D, airmen, part 60 to 68, certification in medical standards. Then we have the subchapter E, the airspace, part 71 to 77. So, subchapter F, air traffic and general operating rules. So, pasensya na, may mga aso kasi. So, parts 91 to 109. Okay? So, subchapter G, air carriers and operators compensation of hire. So, part 119 to 139. H, schools and other certifications, part 140 to 147. I, airports, part 150 to 169. J, navigational facilities, part 170 to 171. K, administrative regulations, parts 183 to 193. L to M, reserves, part 71 to 77. And is wireless insurance, parts 198 to 199. So, 14 CFR, subchapter D, airman. For part 61, okay, certification ng pilots, flight instructors, and ground instructors. So, for part 63, certification of flight crew members other than pilots. So, for part 65, certification, airmen other than flight crew members. And for part 67, medical standards and certification. Okay, so sa 61, pilots, flight instructor, and ground instructors lang. So for part 63, certification ng flight crew members. So ito yung mga flight attendants, mga crew members, cabin crews. So for part 65, certification, airmen other than flight crew members. So, dito na papasok yung mga airmen natin, yung mga nagtatrabaho sa airport, air traffic controllers, AMP, avionics, and such. So, for part 67, medical standards and certification. Okay? So, not so important naman. Skip natin. Okay? So, for part 135, details the regulations for commuter operation and on-demand operation. So, also known as the charters. So, only applies to aircraft with 30 or fewer seats or a maximum payload capacity of 7,500 pounds. Okay. So, part 121. So, for part 121, details the rules for scheduled air carriers. So, the FAA definition of scheduled operation, at least 5 round trips per week on at least one route between 2 or more points according to the published flight schedule. Okay. So, for part 119 is a fairly new rule which contains the certification rules for all United States air carriers. It is titled as certification, air carriers, and commercial operator. Remember the title for part 119 natin. Okay? So, not so important. So, we have the 14 CFR, subpart H, schools and other certificated agencies. So, we have 4 parts here. So, for part 141, remember, pilot schools. Ibig sabihin, yung may mga flight schools natin. Part 142, training centers. Ibig sabihin, mga training centers, pwede po ito, lahat po ng training centers, excluding flight schools natin. Ibig sabihin, kadalasan, AMT, Avionics, Maintenance Planning, schools natin. Part 145, repair station. 147, aviation, maintenance, training schools. Okay? So, part 147, aviation, maintenance, training school. Ito yung mga ratings na pwede. So, we have the airframe, power plant, airframe, and power plant. Okay? So, teaching levels, we have the level 1, 2, and 3. So, repair station, kadalasan, describe how to obtain a repair station certificate. Okay, so dito malalaman ano yung mga requirements in order for you to have a repair station. So, the FAA defines line maintenance as any scheduled maintenance resulting from unforeseen events, scheduled checks that contain servicing of inspections that do not require specialized training, equipment, or facilities. So, like I said nga kanina, kapag line maintenance, minor repair lang ito. Okay? So, repair station ratings. So, we have airframe, power plant, propeller, radio, instrument, and accessory. So, limited off airframe. So, ito, landing gear components. Yung floats natin, ginagamit po siya sa mga what? Sa mga seaplane po natin. Floats po kasi yung tawag sa landing gear ng seaplane. So, NDT, fabric work, rotor blades, and emergency equipments like the emergency slides natin. Okay? So, class ratings ng airframe, we have 4 classes. So, class 1, composite construction. Ibig sabihin ng composite, non-metals. Small aircraft under 12,500 pounds. Then, class 2, composite din. Of the large aircraft over 12,500 pounds. Class 3, all-metal construction. Tandaan nyo ha. Ang class 1 and 2, composite. Class 3 and 4, metal construction. Pag class 3, metal ng small aircraft. Class 4, metal construction ng large aircraft. And under FAA, a small aircraft is under 12,500 pounds and large aircraft is over 12,500 pounds. So remember, kanina, ang large aircraft sa IASA is over 5,700 kilograms. Okay. Pag FAA naman po, ang meaning ng small aircraft is under 12,500 pounds and large aircraft is over 12,500 pounds naman. So, importante itong 4 classes na to. Ulitin ko, pag class 1 and 2, composite construction. 3 and 4, all metal. And 1, small aircraft. 2, large aircraft. 3 and 4, small and large, respectively. Okay? So, power plant. So, class 1, reciprocating engines of 400 horsepower or less. Class 2, reciprocating engine of 400 horsepower or more. Sabihin po na reciprocating engine, from your thermodynamics, ang reciprocating engine po ay mga piston engine. Kadalasan pong gumagamit ng reciprocating engine ay mga small aircrafts po natin. Kasi propeller driven. Okay? Pero meron man pong tinatawag turboprop, pero tsaka nyo na yun, alam mo. Then class 3, we have the turbine engines. Ang kadalasan gumagamit po ng turbine engines natin ay yung mga large commuter aircraft like Airbus, A320, A321neo, and Boeing 737, and so on. Okay, yung mga commuter aircraft na ginagamit sa commercial aviation. Then propeller. So class 1, fixed pitch and ground adjustable. And class 2, all others. Okay? Then radio, class 1, communication equipment. Class 2, navigation equipment. Class 3, the radar equipment naman. Instrument, class 1, mechanical. Class 2, electrical. Class 3, gyroscopic. Class 4, electronic. So accessory, so class 1, mechanical. Class 2, electrical. Class 3, electro. So record keeping ng part 145, a certified repair station must retain records in English. So hindi po pwede ibang language yung gagamitin. Kailangan English lang po. So a certified repair station must retain records at least 2 years from the date the article was approved. Okay? So, not so important naman yan. So, 14 CFR, subchapter C, the aircraft. So, we have part 21, 23, 25, 26, 27, 29. Okay? So, for part 21, certification procedures for products and articles. So, itong 4 parts na to ay ma-encounter niyo po siya kapag nag-4th year po kayo sa aircraft design. Is importante po kasi na sumunod tayo sa regulations. Okay? So, the very famous Part 23, so airworthiness standards of normal category aircraft. Part 25, transport. Part 26, safety improvements. 27, airworthiness standards ng normal category rotorcraft. Ibig sabihin, mga helicopters. Part 29, airworthiness standards of transport category rotorcraft. So, I will send the complete for part 23. So, it's a good read lang naman. Hindi ko naman kayo nire-require na basahin yun kasi maraming pages yun. Pero it's a good read to familiarize sa for part 23. Kasi kadalasan yan po yung sinusunod natin kapag we are designing a certain aircraft. Okay? So, part 31, man-free balloons. 33, aircraft engines. 34, fuel venting. 35, propellers. 36, noise standards. 39, the ADs natin. And 43, maintenance, preventive maintenance, rebuilding, and alteration. Part 45, registration markings. 47, aircraft registration. Small unmanned pag 48, 49, recording of aircraft titles. And parts 50 to 59 are for the reserve. So, that's the end of my discussion. So, marami siya. So, para naman to be fair, kasi lagi na lang tayong walang klase. So, napag-isipan ko na to make the quiz multiple choice. Okay, so para mas madali tayong pagsa. Okay, so ang quiz po natin ay multiple choice, 50 items. So, be ready na lang. So, next week, we will have our quiz. So, I'm so sorry dahil hindi ko siya na-discuss face-to-face kasi gusto ko siyang i-discuss. Kaso, sinabi sa amin na due to extreme heat and transport strikes, kailangan namin mag-shift to online or asynchronous. So, di naman ako makapag-online class kasi wala akong pro ng class in. So, mahirap din naman pag Google Meet. Kasi, yun, time constraints. Kaya, I will just make a recording. So, ito yun. So, just watch this recording. I don't know kung papanoorin nyo. Kung papanoorin nyo, edi good. Pag hindi, okay lang. So, just study the PowerPoint presentation. Kasi dito lang din naman ako kuha ng quizzes and exams. Okay, so, thank you for listening. So, I hope you understand and get some knowledge tungkol sa topic. So, thank you and keep safe always.